All right. Well, OJ Simpson just bit the dust after a long life lived in relative what's the word? Um luxury. Luxury. Really actually that's not true. He went to jail for a long time. But nonetheless, alive, alive. OJ was alive for a very very long time and if generally speaking, on the day that people die, I think it's real bad form to say anything negative about them. Just as a general rule, I think it is a bad policy to say negative things about a person on the day they die. I'm going to make an exception today, though, for obvious reasons. Well, maybe it's not obvious, actually. The thing is, as much as I look like a spry young gentleman that just graduated high school 5 minutes ago. I mean, I'm a little bit older than that, believe it or not. So I actually lived through the O.J. Simpson trial, the facts of the case, the unfolding documentaries after documentary and documentary after documentary after documentary that unfolded what really happened here, including O.J. Simpson writing a book outlining exactly what actually happened when the infamous night happened, where he went from famous NFL player, Hall of Fame running back to person who murders the mother of his children and a dude that may or may not have been hooking up with her when she was his ex-wife. They weren't even together. The reason that they had broken up is because he beat her constantly. This is just verified across the board. So anything after that is borrowed time. He admits it. He goes on the run. I mean, like for those of you who did not live through what happened with OJ, that's what we're going to talk about in this video, because I think a lot of people don't actually, like, if you're like 25 or even 30, even early 30s, you do not understand how insane what happened with OJ actually was. There's never been anything that has ever happened with a celebrity that was more insane than what happened with OJ. And we're going to go through that shortly. I also don't think that people who are that age realize how massive a star he was prior to this happening. I'm going to try to put all of that into perspective because he is dead now. He died of cancer today. And I'm going to put into perspective what happened with OJ Simpson, because again, there is no comparable thing that's ever happened in the history of like American society equivalent to what happened with OJ, unless I am forgetting. So people can tell me what they think about that statement. Like, is there anything that compares to this after we run through it again? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I love you guys. I would appreciate that. And we're going to rock and roll. Okay, so here's the deal. So you know what's up. Big Buffalo, you know what's up. But I'm going to remind you of some things just in case everybody has forgotten anything. So essentially, O.J. Simpson was one of the greatest running backs in the history of the NFL. He was also one of these guys who, what's the right way to put this? He was one of those early black crossover people who went from, athlete to totally mainstream. Like, he was a commentator. He was an actor. He was like a successful actor in a lot of like big movies. And back then, that was like a big deal. Like, OJ was, and he came from the dirt, man. Like, he came from the inner city, very poor growing up. He went to USC, then he went to the NFL. He played for Buffalo for the majority of his career, and he was absolutely outstanding. He was an outstanding athlete. He also spoke in a way like he sounded like Barack Obama when he talked, man. He was like an incredible, incredible commentator, an incredible actor. He always had a smile on. It was like when people started finding out that there was like a dark side to this guy, they like couldn't believe it, So basically the most successful African-American kind of crossover athlete to mainstream like ever. He was also a guy who was awesome because if you tried to talk race with him back then, he just would never even, he thought it was the dumbest conversation ever. He thought it was now I was too young to like really be involved in that side of this when it was actually going on, but I've watched so many documentaries about this that now I could say had I been an adult when this was going on, I would have been like, this guy is the man, dude. Like, because this has always been my answer on the end of racism is as soon as people stop talking about it, like stop talking about him being a black commentator versus he's just a commentator. That's always been my answer. Like Morgan Freeman says, I really believe that. We don't need to talk too much more about it, but that was like his stance. He was awesome. He was hilarious too. He was in all the Naked Gun movies. He was like legitimately hilarious, dude. Like hilarious. So then it turned out that he did have a dark side, though. He was married to Nicole Brown Simpson. I'll show you what she looks like just in case you guys don't, because this seems actually relatively relevant. So this is her. Okay, so this is who he was married to. So this is Nicole Brown Simpson. Beautiful, blonde. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, so that's what she looked like. So it turned out though that OJ had a dark side. So when he would get upset with her, he would beat the shit out of her. Like he would fuck her up, dude. Not small stuff. They had the police called on them a million times, right? So like when things went sideways for OJ, he was not calm. He would beat her ass. Okay. Now, a lot of the stuff in hindsight, like it's like I listen to stories that get told about people where I know the framing that they're trying to give, and I'm like, all right, well, if she said that, I mean, I'm talking stuff all the way down to like with my own daughter. Like if I hear a story, it's like my daughter, she made me sit by myself on the bus, you know, and your instinct is like, what? Why'd she do that? Why is someone bullying you? And then you get into the story and it's like, oh, like you were sitting right next to her and there were a bunch of other seats on the bus. And so she just wanted a whole row to herself. And she was saying, go take an entire row to yourself. She's not like excluding you socially. So a lot of stuff about OJ, stories that came out later, I was like, okay, guys, like that doesn't count, you know? Like there was like a ton of I don't know. I remember this story. There was like a ton of fucking like energy given to like where they were out with a bunch of friends and he like grabbed her crotch and he was like, this is daddy's right here. Something like that. Like where he's like, I own this. It's his wife, you know, it's a fucking joke. Now, turned out not to be so much of a joke, but anyway, nonetheless, he beat her up a lot. So they end up splitting up and getting divorced. They have kids, obviously. They had 2 kids. So the problem with, divorce when you have kids is it's exactly the same as when you are in college and you try to break up with your girlfriend, you know, like this is inaccurate. This is not accurate. The OJ son thing. I saw that documentary. It was compelling. It's bullshit though. You need to watch the other documentary. You need to watch the multi-part series that ESPN did it on it. OJ did it for sure. Not to mention OJ wrote a book where he admitted doing it. You should read that book and then tell me someone else did it. Anyway, so sorry, I lost my train of thought because that documentary about OJ's son doing it was compelling, but it's not true. I've seen it. It's been debunked. OJ did it. OJ did it for absolute sure. So anyway, like when you break up, like especially like if you're in the Greek system, if you're in a fraternity or sorority, you guys go to all the same places. And so like there's a girl, you don't want to be with her anymore, but you also don't necessarily want to watch her stick her tongue down the throat of a different frat guy. And so like when you try to break up with him, it's like, all right, where are we going tonight? You're like, oh, we're going to Riley's. You're like, sick. And then you get to Riley's and she's there and you're like, fuck. It ruins your night, dude. It just ruins your night because you're like, you can't get away from it. You don't like her that much, but also now you're going to be overwhelmingly jealous because you think if you leave, because she's going to lay it on thick. Oh, look I'm just grinding on this fucking guy. Oh, what's wrong? I thought you didn't want to be together. Well, if you don't want to be together, then what's wrong with me rubbing my vagina on his leg? You don't like that? It's fucking hell on earth. Okay. So, OJ having kids with someone is the same thing because you can't get away from them. Like if you want to break up with someone, you need to have a separation. You can't be around them or else it's nearly impossible. But when you have kids, you're definitely going to be around each other. So OJ did not want to break up, but Nicole Simpson did because he beat her up all the time and he was constantly unfaithful, as you would expect from a superstar athlete like him in terms of the infidelity. So there had been multiple incidents after they got divorced where he was still like he was stalking her essentially, right? So he's stalking her, and one night he comes to her duplex or wherever she lives. She's got a bunch of candles lit. She's got a bunch of stuff, like she's got candles lit, whatever. And while he's there, staking out her house, Ron Goldman, who is a waiter at a restaurant that she goes to all the time. And I'll show you what this dude looked like, because this is the guy that fucks your ex-wife, like, you like the exact opposite of, the exact opposite of OJ, except like, like this, you see this dude rolling up to your wife's house or your ex-wife house, like he's coming there to fuck for sure. So this guy comes walking up. The story about this, according to the restaurant, was like, oh yeah, she left her glasses at the restaurant. And so he was actually just bringing over glasses. He didn't even have a relationship with her. Yeah, fucking right. Okay. What was actually happening is she probably did leave her glasses and they knew that he fucks her. So she was bringing, like, the idea that Ron Goldman was not banging her is ridiculous. He was, for sure. But guess what, dude? Guess what? They're not married. Okay. She's not married to OJ. She's allowed to do whatever she wants. So when OJ sees the dude walking up, it's too much for his jealous brain to handle. And this is according to OJ's book. Okay. So according to OJ's book that he wrote, he goes to intervene with the dude, or like he goes up and he's going to either I can't remember if he knocked on the door. He either confronted Ron Goldman first or he confronted Nicole Simpson first. But either way, they're both like, you got Nicole over here coming out of the house and you got Ron Goldman coming up right here. And he said that Ron Goldman jumped into like a karate stance. Like he said, this is OJ Simpson's accounting of what happened in the book. What if I did do it? Okay. So the guy jumps on, guy gets into like a karate stance and he's like, come on, OJ, come on, let's do this. And so instead of fighting like a man, OJ pulls out a knife and he butchers him and kills him. So no fair fight. He kills Ron Goldman. Once he's done that, he's got to go all the way. So he goes up and he nearly decapitates his ex-wife and he murders her also. So that's what OJ did to the mother of his children, because he's a jealous psychopath that couldn't handle this situation. He murdered the mother of his kids. So if it sounds like I'm being harsh, I'm not, dude. Okay? I'm not. If something happened between me and Gabrielle and the end result was I killed her, the mother of my children, I would hope that this is exactly how you guys would talk about it. You'd be like, that guy was cool, man, but he was also an evil psychopath who killed the mother of his kids, So that's what happened, because OJ said that's what happened. And subsequent from there, he goes home. He's flying to Chicago later that day or later that night. So he hurries home. He's in a white Bronco. He tries to clean up. He leaves some blood smears, whatever. He goes up to his room. He gets dressed and he hustles out of there and goes to Chicago. So where you get into the evidence and you get into the lead homicide investigator, you got to keep in mind, this is LA in the 90s. Okay. LA in the 90s, the cops had a pretty simple approach to police work. Get these guys and put them in the slammer. Now, a dude who I'm friends with, who I talk to all the time, is Dick fucking Deep from LA. He was like, he was police leadership in LA. As a matter of fact, he's going to email me probably while I'm doing this, but I should have him on, dude. But anyway, so like, you had the Rampart Crash Unit, like the anti-gang unit, where they would just go into the ghetto and it was like, they're going to put these motherfuckers in jail however you have to. Mark Furman was the lead investigator on the OJ case. And there's evidence where like, seemed pretty fucking convenient, dude. You got one bloody glove at the scene and you got the other bloody glove and it's at OJ's house. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe But like, I mean, you know what I mean? Really? Just seems a little, either OJ is the dumbest motherfucker on earth, or maybe a guy who knew his suspect was guilty was like, I'm not letting him get away with this. I'm going to make sure that there's enough evidence to put this guy in prison. So they start collecting evidence. Obviously, OJ comes home. You know, he's, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. As soon as OJ realizes that they've got him locked down and they're going to put him in prison, he decides he's not going to prison. And he ends up getting into a high-speed chase with the police chasing him with a good, you know, like Al Cowlings, who is his best friend, former NFL player. And they're driving. You got literally, this is what I'm talking about, dude. When has anything like this ever happened? Every single TV station in the world is live streaming this, okay? This is before the internet. And you got him and his white Bronco, and he's in the back. Al Cowlings, his best friend, is driving. They don't even know where the hell they're going. Like, he was probably going to go to Mexico or something. I don't know. And then he decides, oh, God, I can't go to jail. He's in the back of the car like this, like, I can't go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Al Cowlings talking to people, whatever. They're trying to get him to not blow his brains out, try to go back. Like, if anybody honestly believes that he did not do it, dude, I mean, okay. Again, I covered this, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw that documentary. It was very compelling. It's not real. Like that I saw that documentary, and I've seen that documentary thoroughly debunked. Like, OJ did it. I'll tell you what, go watch the one of the best documentary series of all time is the like 7-part OJ one that they did on 30 for 30, ESPN 30 for 30. I'm telling you, if you have, I already know you haven't seen it because you wouldn't even talk about any other theories if you had. Like, it is definitive, dude. OJ fucking did it. All of his best friends, they tell all these different separate stories where he's like basically admitted it to them. He wrote a book. What if I did it? Like, he fucking did it, dude, for sure. But anyway, so he decides to not blow his own brains out and go, you know, I guess try his luck in court. And, you know, the reason that ESPN documentary is so good is because they did such an incredible job of capturing the energy of Los Angeles when that happened, because that was right after the Rodney King thing. So anybody who doesn't know the Rodney King situation, you know what? Let me see if I can find footage of the OJ chase, dude. I bet you I can. I bet you. Let's see. Bam. Just like, imagine, you know, this is live. He's one of the biggest stars ever. You know, and like, and he's in the back of this thing, like, oh! This is like live streaming everywhere on earth. They're just chasing him around, and he's like got a gun. Okay, listen, you guys, if you guys are really honestly entertaining that OJ didn't do this, see, that's Al Cowlings. OJ's in the back seat, gun in his mouth. The whole world is coming out there like everybody wants to see it. It's like the only thing that was happening in the entire world at the time. Okay, so here's my question. To everybody who's out there who really still believes that OJ didn't do it, why'd that happen? Like, why did he go on the run, and why does he have a gun in his mouth, dude? Like, is that something a normal person would do? He still has 2 kids. What reason would he have to kill himself? Because his ex-wife got murdered? Like, you know, he's like, oh, if he didn't do it, it's like, oh my God, my ex-wife got killed. I'm going to kill myself. You're all, who's going to take care of your kids, dude? But again, like I said, Luke, I'm telling you, I know exactly. I would be calling you crazy if I had not seen the exact documentary that you're talking about. I've seen it. It is compelling. I thought there were some holes in it to begin with, but they did it. I mean, listen, dude, you can make documentaries and make people look like whatever, but this whole thing, oh yeah, the son's the one who really did it. Like, dude, it's no. Trust me. If you like documentaries, true crime, go watch the ESPN one. You will never entertain any other theory ever again. It's absolutely definitive. The juice is loose. He's not with Nicole again, maybe. I have a feeling that those 2 guys are in different places. The glove didn't fit. Like I said, dude, that's what I was saying. is back in the 90s, the LAPD, they were going to put you in jail one way or the other. I don't think that it is unlikely that Mark Furman took 2 gloves and, one at the crime scene, one at his house. I mean, I don't know. I have no way of knowing. But if you think that the gloves not fitting means that OJ didn't do it, why did OJ write a book saying that he did? How come all of his friends, all of his closest friends, his agent that was his agent for 40 years, it literally does an entire documentary with ESPN. He's like, oh yeah, no, he did it. He's like, there's absolutely no question. They're like, they asked them straight up. They're all, so did he do it? And they're like, oh, he did it. They're like, absolutely. Oh yeah, he did it. That's the thing where I think there is just a correct way to assess things, that if it's on TV, and you don't really know what's what, if you see, you just need to be able to assess who would know. You know what I mean? It's like everything's just all speculation, and there's not one opinion that's better than the other if it's me versus you. You know what I mean? If it's just like, no, I think he did it. And you're like, well, I think he did it. Or I think he didn't. It's like, all right. But if a guy has been his best friend for 50 fucking years and he's like, oh no, he did it. He told me he did it. You're like, all right, well, now I'd be a moron to think that he didn't do it. You know what I mean? Anyway, so, oh my God. You're on timeout, dude. Too many of the same stupid comment. For God's sake, shut up. Hang on. Hold on. Sorry, I missed a comment and then I lost my spot. Wait, is that who I just banned? Oh, it is. Someone's all, we get it, Exile. Go find someone else to watch. And I'm like, wait, who's Exile? I'm like, oh, never mind. That's the dude I just put on timeout. Anyway, so you guys, I hear you, but the glove doesn't fit thing doesn't matter. Like, just straight up does not matter. It doesn't matter. Because it's possible that that Mark Furman planted it. Doesn't mean OJ didn't do it. OJ did it, man. OJ did it. Dude, the blue teeth thing again? Why does everybody always say I have blue fucking teeth? Only on my live streams, people say that. Never on the fucking videos, dude. I don't understand. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. My teeth do not look blue to me. But anyway, so bottom line is, as far as I'm concerned, there is no question that OJ did it. I'm sorry, let me go back. So the Rodney King thing happened. Now, I can't show that on my channel. If you have never seen, it's so crazy to me that there are people like that. I'm that much older than some people that are like, if you think you understand what police brutality looks like and you have not seen the Rodney King video, go watch that. And then you'll understand what real police brutality looks like. Like, this is straight up, like I said, LAPD in the 90s when they were fucking whipping people's asses in the ghetto. Like, it was a different world back then. There was no, like, that was the first big, like, caught you on tape video of a police brutality case. It's bananas. They fucking just, like, batons, whap, 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 whap. And he's literally just going like this, and then they stop, and they're like, it's like sadistic and insane. Okay. If anybody wants to tell me that the Rodney King video was not police brutality, okay, like, am I a defund the police guy? That is a level of police brutality that was fucking insanity, right? Caught on tape. Okay. When they tried those officers, and this was in a time when, again, there was rampant police brutality in LA. I don't know about the nation, but in LA, they were beating the fuck out of people in South Central, Compton, whatever. And when they tried those police officers, they successfully got the trial moved to, I can't remember, but it was like a suburb where they had the majority of the jurors were white. And they acquitted them, dude. That shit's on video. Like, it's literally, you're looking at a video of them belligerently just smashing this black suspect with batons. He's not fighting. He's just on the ground going like this. It is true. Like, it's possible that they said that he punched one of the cops, which is, I mean, I don't know. The video starts where it starts. But even if he punched one of the cops, what's on video is indefensible, dude. Like, I'm not saying there's no scenario where if I was a cop and someone punched me in the face and I didn't realize that I was on tape, that I might hit them that many times with a baton. But I would also know if this gets videotaped, I'm going to fucking jail, right? So if they get the trial moved to essentially an all-white county, and the jurors acquit them, that's when the LA riots happened in 92. Because if they're like, if you're in the black community and you've been getting beat down like that, and then a video like that comes out and then they acquit them, no charges stuck at all. Like, they just acquitted them. It's like, all right, back to work. And they just, I don't think they did a very good job of demonstrating why anyone should care about them getting their asses whipped, when what they did because of the acquittal was they went and smashed bricks on people's faces and burned the town down. But I know why they did it. But nonetheless, it was obviously an incredible outrage to the black community that those guys got acquitted, as it should have been. I mean, like, it was an egregious acquittal. But in that environment, that's when the OJ trial happened, and OJ killed his white ex-wife. And so when they when they did the trial, Johnny Cochran was his attorney, and they got as many black jurors on there as possible. And they made the entire fucking case a referendum on racism in America. And then when they interviewed in the documentary I'm talking about on ESPN, they actually interviewed all of the black jurors who acquitted OJ. And they were like, hey, so they're like, so when you voted for him to not be guilty, did you do it because of the Rodney King trial? And one of the ladies, she's like, fuck yeah, I did. Every one of them was like, yeah, I did. They're like, yeah, I acquitted him. Because by making the OJ case about race, every black juror who was obviously furious about the Rodney King case was like, oh, I know how I can get back. Yep, let him go. Juice is loose. And they acquitted him because of that. So Johnny Cochran played the race card at the absolutely perfect time. It worked, and that's how he got acquitted. Otherwise, 100% he would have gotten convicted and gone to fucking prison. But, OJ was innocent. Nicole is guilty of her last for BBC and Coke. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so then what ended up happening for OJ, the reason why he ended up going to jail is because this case was bullshit. Okay. Like, so he got a bunch of his memorabilia taken in a bankruptcy, and there was some guy who was trying to sell his memorabilia. So like, he had never sold it. We're talking about like his Heisman Trophy, shit like that. And some FBI informant, you know how these FBI informants entrap people? By the way, did you guys hear about the CIA agent that got caught on a Project Veritas style undercover video? And he fucking admitted that the January 6th thing, that they had 20 federal agents undercover inciting the violence, that they entrap people, and that they were themselves straight up intentionally responsible for bankrupting Alex Jones, that they were responsible for the lawsuits and then bankrupting him. He's like, so we could cut his legs off. That is one of the most insane undercover videos ever, and it is absolutely hilarious. I sent it to my dad, and he was like, stop showing me the shit. Because it was like, I told you, dude. You think I'm a conspiracy theory? I told you. Here's them admitting it on camera. Anyway, but damn it, why was that relevant? Right. Entrapment. So federal agent or a federal informant tells they like riled OJ up. They're all, hey man, they're selling all your shit, man. They're selling all your shit. Let's go get these motherfuckers, man. Let's go get these motherfuckers. And so they go in with guns, okay, and they go meet the guy who actually legally obtained the memorabilia, and they go in there, we're taking this shit. We're taking this shit. We're taking this shit. Hey, where'd you get that, man? They got OJ all riled up. And then when they arrested him, these guys flipped on him, and he ended up getting sentenced to like 30 years in prison because the judge And then the judge in the sentencing guidelines, she made it crystal clear. She's like, I am sentencing you because you got off for murdering your wife. Yo, Jesse, where's the 300 after party? Do not know yet. Thank you for the super chat. You see Floyd 2.0 get shot. Body cam shows him shooting cop first. So cop unloads on him, but mom is out there crying. He's just driving his new car. I literally have no idea what we're talking about. That must be like a new case. I'll check it out though. Thank you for the super chat. Finally, OJ can rest knowing his wife's killer is dead. Pretty much, dude. Pretty much. He died of cancer. He died of cancer. I mean, listen, dude, it's terrible. I'm sure it's terrible for his family or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, his wife has been dead since 1996. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure she would have liked to have lived this amount of time and then some, but no, because why? Because what did she do to sacrifice all these years that he had alive? Like, what did she do? She left a guy who was beating the shit out of her and cheating on her constantly. And then she tried to have a life once she had left him. And the asshole that beat the shit out of her, he came and he's like, nah, I'm going to kill you. So fuck him, dude. Have I ever heard of hitting a nerve when tattooing and feeling your muscle? Not really, but dude, I had a Novocaine shot in my mouth, hit straight into the head of a nerve, like this nerve up here. Holy fuck, dude. It felt like I can't even describe it. It was like a level of pain that went like, dude, I'm pretty good toughing it out through shots, but something about like, I've had a million oral shots, but this one somehow it like went straight into the head of the nerve, like through here and back here. It's hard to even explain. It was like a shot of electric agony just shot through my entire body all at once. And literally every time I've gotten a shot there since that happened, I'm terrified it's going to happen again. Jesse might be late to the party. What are your thoughts on CTE being a possible reason for OJ's actions? Tough rusher, tackled a lot. I mean, listen, dude, let's be honest. A lot of CTE to go around the NFL, right? How many guys kill their fucking wife out of jealousy? I don't know, man. I struggle with the evil act. Let's blame it on CTE thing personally. You know what I mean? Okay. I earned that, dude. I earned that. Did you say you've had a million oral shots? Didn't know you get down like that. Yeah. I earned that, dude. What I meant though, is that I have had to have lots of dental work because I have my teeth fall out or get knocked out all the time. Wait. There's some crazy stuff for their kids. His sons has just as strong a kid. No, listen. I'm the real only reason I'm not hammering you guys for that same comment is because I've seen the documentary that you guys are referencing where they're saying, oh, it's actually OJ's son that did it. It's not. I've seen that thing debunked. Trust me. Watch you know what? Hang on. I'll show you just so everybody, I can send everybody home today with like the best documentary series. This might be the best documentary series ever made. Dude, I should watch it again, actually. Okay, here it is. This is what you want. You want OJ Made in America. It's a 5-part series, and it is literally one of the best documentaries ever made, ever. Trust me. You'll love it. You're right. Don't trust Jesse not to bang your wife, Boyd. What? I'm just kidding. Gabrielle, I was a joke. I'm just kidding. Boyd doesn't have a fucking wife. Not to bang his boyfriend, you little pussy. Yeah, he had CTE, I'm sure. David's all you are not a tough guy, Jesse. You have no idea what it's like to take a 9-inch dick up your ass like I do twice a week. That's what makes you tough, you pussy. OJ murder, 1994, acquittal in criminal. Dude, check this out. The top of the hand is actually not bad at all. So I got this like exactly a week ago, and I got this, like I got that a couple days ago. Dude, this was way worse. Like this right there was way worse than my fucking hand. It's crazy, dude. I hadn't gotten a new tattoo in 6 years. So like I completely forgot what hurts, what doesn't, but this did not hurt. But this fucking hurt, dude. Dude, you think you can bait me into banging your boyfriend? Well, you're right. You can. That shit would work with Strickland, dude. You're like, you're not man enough to bang my boyfriend. Strickland's all, oh, you think not? Get him over here, dude. Get him the fuck over here. I'll fuck the shit out of your boyfriend. Damn it, I'm going to get this thing demonetized. You guys stop trapping me into demonetizing my stream. Strickland or Costa at 302. I think Strickland. Dude, so check this out. You guys want to hear something crazy? So I know a lot. I don't know how many of you guys have been watching me long enough to know kind of my backstory business-wise, but so you know how I always told you guys that I sold my company for $8.5 million to a company that then had their CEO embezzle a bunch of money and send it overseas, and then had a bunch of other shit, whatever. So that guy who's the CEO of the company that purchased my company, that guy just got sentenced today. It was fucking 9 years ago that this happened. I literally, like, a buddy of mine just emailed it to me, and I'm like, or he got, what's today? The 11th? Is today the 10th or the 11th? On the 11th. So yesterday, this dude got sentenced yesterday. It took 9 years for this dude to finally get sentenced for something that he did in 2015. How on earth could anything take that long? So he's just been out chilling, doing whatever, and well, now he's going to jail. So you can go watch the documentary on my channel. Go look up Jesse on Fire Startup. You can watch the whole documentary. Although the dude that it is not in the documentary, but it's that company. I mean, I don't think you necessarily you got like you need to watch that ESPN documentary, and then you'll really understand it, dude. Inside of the bicep, yeah. Definitely rough. It also, dude, but also it depends on your, you know, in my opinion, it's like, I don't know, dude. Like for me, when I got this one done, I went into that session like, oh God, this is gonna be the worst thing ever. Like I was just ready to just endure absolute sheer fucking agony for 3.5 hours, you know? And so I just went and I was like, all right, this is not that bad. Like this is tolerable. And then, so when I went to do this one, I went into it like, oh, okay, well, like, I'll, like I remember it not being that bad, dude. And then this one was agonizing. So I think it has to do with like, I don't know. I think it has to do with like your expectations also. Dexter Reed out of Chicago. Oh. Let me see. All right. All right. New release body cam footage. The man in folded residential neighborhood. It's in Chicago already. A lot of shooters in the Chicago, you know. While preliminary investigations suggest the driver opened fire on officers first, his family and attorneys question why plainclothes officers swarmed Reed's car with guns drawn and fired dozens of shots at him. Okay, well, did he fire first or not? Across the country, police played an increasing role wearing a... Okay, just based on how this is written, given that this is CNN, I already know that he shot on the cops first, just because they're very clearly trying to distract you to not get to the part where they say, oh, turns out he shot at the cops first. So across the country, police body cam footage has played an increasing role in raising awareness and understanding about officer-involved shooting. Such evidence has been used to help convict officers from crime, blah, 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 blah. While the disturbing videos from Chicago bring more clarity to what happened, they raise a plethora of new questions. Okay, so like blah, 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 blah. Did he shoot first or not? In one video, an officer wearing a hooded jacket, a baseball cap, tactical vest, and a badge approaches white. Okay. Roll down the window. Okay, who shot first? Unlock the doors. Driver apparently says, okay, I'm trying to. Seconds later, as the officer retreats from the vehicle, gunfire breaks out. Other body cam footage shows at least 2 officers firing towards Reed across the street. He started shooting at us. The gun's right there, officer says. Now multiple agencies. Oh, of course. And they're all, look at this. Here's him. So this means he definitely didn't shoot first, because here's a picture of him with his, with his cap on. Don't get me wrong, dude. Like if they really did shoot on him for no reason, then obviously that's super fucked up. But this is not the way that they're writing this makes me think that most likely he shot at them first. I'll watch it. I'll watch the footage. Feel girly because of how ticklish it. Oh man, I've heard that shit hurts. Good one, dude. Wow. That's some top-notch trolling. Jesse, say hi to your husband. Derp, 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 derp. You better step your game up. You want to troll me, dog. Jesse, say hi to your husband. That is stupid. By the way, I have some bomb ass fucking video coming out for you guys. I was in the middle of shooting my my video for today when OJ died, or when I found out OJ died. I'm gonna get back to that right now, and it's gonna be fucking nuclear fire. I got a sick ass story about Ryan Garcia, Diddy, Devin Haney, Diddy, and then the Alex Pereira thing. I got an Alex Pereira story. I got a Jamal Hill story. I got a Justin Gaethje blackout drunk story. I got what else do I got? I'm forgetting something very important that's in this video, but whatever. I'm gonna go finish that. It'll be up in about an hour. Love you guys. Bye-bye.